Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. In today's show, I got news, I got rumors. We're going to talk about CeeDee Lamb. We're going to talk about Tua, and make sure you watch until the very end because I got a trade that I want the Raiders to actually go out and do. So I saw this one come across. Mike Mayock loves CeeDee Lamb. This one's for Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. And once I saw this report from Peter King, I was like, thank the Lord. So in his latest Football Morning in America column, Peter King reported that Mayock loves Lamb, and the Raiders GM views Lamb as the most complete receiver in the 2020 NFL draft. Can we all just start clapping, like the video, do whatever it takes? Because this is a player that we've all talked about for basically 3 months now. Really, 6 months, ever since he wore the Fred Bolendikoff jersey. We're like, this is a guy that I want in some silver and black, right? And I honestly think CeeDee Lamb is the type of person that thinks pillaging is just for fun, and he's exactly what I want in a receiver. He's going to have the yards after the catch ability. He's going to have the ability to block, which I think is why you heard Mayock say he is the most complete wide receiver in this year's class, because when he does block, you can see it. He gets excited. He wants to lay people out, and he might not be the burner that a Henry Ruggs is, and he might not be honestly as polished as what Jerry Jeudy is right now. But with the upside that CeeDee Lamb has, that is why he is my number one wide receiver in this year's class, and it's why he is my number one receiver that I want this team to go out and get. Honestly, I think Jerry Jeudy fits the New York Jets better. Honestly, I think Henry Ruggs might fit the Denver Broncos team better. You know what, though? I don't care about those teams. I care about CeeDee Lamb, and I care about finding the best fit for the silver and black, for the Las Vegas Raiders. And in my opinion, it's CeeDee Lamb. And if y'all believe in Mike Mayock, we always say in Mike Mayock we trust. I'm giving it 4 Chucky heads, all right? So here's the question. You ready? Will the Raiders draft CeeDee Lamb? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. I do anticipate seeing some N's for no's, and that's all good. That's what the show is all about. My only request is every single time you vote, at least give me a reason why, because it is so easy just to say Y for yes or N for no. So go in the comments, let me know, will the Raiders draft CeeDee Lamb? And if they do, y'all better be watching live with us at Chat Sports, where we're going to be live all 7 rounds, all 255 picks, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Join the team. You can see the link below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. If you don't remember it, we'll put it in the description. I'll put it in the comment section right now. So all you have to do is just click that link. Make sure the nation's showing out, because I don't want to have a show with not a lot of Raider fans watching, because y'all know how to have a good time, and we're going to have a good time, because if you like the Raiders Report, you're going to absolutely love our NFL draft coverage. Let's go to the next rumor here. We got it. The Raiders trading up for Tua. This one is from The Athletic, and I understand that it's really hard to make it in this business. However, it does kind of blow my mind at times that people are willing to pay for this kind of stuff. So according to Ben Standig, who I don't know who that is, he says that the Las Vegas Raiders could prevent any major slide from occurring, because if he slides past pick 6, the Raiders could potentially trade up to go out and get him. Now, he also says that the Raiders are uncertain on Derek Carr, and that they're uncertain on Mariota, and that Gruden loves quarterbacks. I don't think he really watched Mike Mayock talk last week, where he said that he absolutely loves Derek Carr and that he absolutely loves Mariota. That's why he's the highest paid backup. Now, do I understand that Gruden likes quarterbacks? Yes. That doesn't mean they're going to draft one in round 1. And maybe if Tua really, really slides, you could see him go to the Raiders. However, I am so sick and tired of people saying, Mike Mayock, Jon Gruden, they're going to draft a quarterback because Gruden loves quarterbacks. Let's come up with something different to say. Let's come up with something a little bit more clever, because here's his track record. Gruden has never drafted a quarterback in round 1. I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about it, so maybe y'all can stop writing about it. Fingers crossed. But let's entertain this idea, okay? Because that's what it's about. Let's just say the Raiders do want to trade up to pick number 7, because Tua has slid past the Dolphins at 5, and he's slid past the Chargers at 6. So now he's on the clock, or on the board, for the Carolina Panthers at pick 7. If the Raiders want to go up, this is about what it's going to cost, okay? So if you guys don't believe me, you can look up the trade values on the NFL trade value chart. It's really cool. Just go to Google, type it in. But this is what it would cost for the Raiders. Now, for those of you that are like, Mitch, there's no way that Tua is going to fall. Maybe you didn't see this report that came out. So this is something that we talked about on NFL Daily. Again, another reason just to go out and subscribe to our main Chat Sports channel. Tua could actually fall out of the top 10. And it's a pretty crazy scenario because entering the 2019 season, I was like, people are saying tank for Tua. He's going to be the number 1 overall pick. It does go to show how quickly things can change. Now, I think if he's fully healthy, he's easily a top 5 pick. But health and his injuries, even in previous years, are a major concern, which is why he could fall out of the top 10. But if you want to look at just production alone, the last 2 years at the college football level, it's really hard to argue with Tua, and I think he is an incredible talent, and I absolutely love Tua, and I hope him the very, very best in his NFL career. But I'm going to hit you guys with a very, very hard question. So I talked about Tua. I talked about CeeDee Lamb. What happens if both of these players are on the board at pick number 12? So for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you might get with an ad break. While the ad is playing, I want you to scroll on down, and I want you to vote on the pinned comment. Would you draft Tua type T or CeeDee Lamb type L? Let's keep the show rolling here. We got a trade rumor around PJ Hall, and I saw this one come out from Michael Lombardi, and I was like, really? I'm actually pretty surprised. That's why I'm giving it 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. I actually hope the Raiders don't move on from Hall because, as you can see in my last note there, PFF rated him as the 38th best defensive tackle in 2019, and when I see a player who started 12 games for us last year, when I see a player who really started to kind of like grow into his own as the season went on, I would actually be kind of disappointed that we're giving up on a defensive tackle entering year 3. But if he is moved, it's something that we'll talk about. I'll try to keep you as up to date as humanly possible. Now, I still like Mo Hurst. I still like the middle of our defensive line. And I understand if you look at just the numbers, you might not see the real impact that Hall gave us, but he does give us depth. But it does make it interesting because we have seen a lot of rumors around the Raiders potentially going out and getting a defensive lineman, going out and getting a defensive tackle. If they do move PJ Hall during the draft, I'm telling you what, right now, I am going to reconsider my mock draft because I would actually have us potentially taking a defensive tackle at pick 19. I really could. So this is an interesting thing that we'll continue to talk about, but I want you guys to kind of look into your fortune cookies or crystal balls, whatever you guys have at home. I'm not quite sure. Should the Raiders trade PJ Hall? I want you to type T for trade, or I want you to type K for keep. Remember, he's only 24 years old. He is entering year 3. Now, do I think he is the most complete defensive tackle in the league? No. But I do think that we should kind of give him a chance, and I think he was better, honestly, than Malik Collins was last year. He was better than Jonathan Hankins, in my opinion. For him to just be entering year 3 and for us to be considering moving him, I'm really curious what we would be moving him for. Now, if you guys need a new sweatshirt in your life, special deal. So I showed these last week. They've actually dropped by $5. For a limited time only, you can get this Just Win Baby sweatshirt for $41.99. The way that you're going to get it, you got to go to chatsports.com/Raiders hoodie, okay? It's 30% off right now. You're going to save close to like $30 or $20 on it. If you guys like the sweatshirt, please go out and get it. If you do get it, send me a picture of yourself at Mitchell Renz 365. I'm trying to show our sponsors that y'all care. Who knows? You might even see yourself up on the show. Go to chatsports.com/Raiders hoodie. All right, let's keep the show moving. We got a lot of trades here. Are the Raiders trading pick 19? I saw an article from ESPN. I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads, and this has been something that we have all kind of talked about for about, I'd say, 2 months now. So ESPN goes on to talk about teams that could potentially, trade in the first round, and the Raiders were actually throughout in various trades where more of the trades came involving pick 19, and I do believe that pick 19 is the more likely pick, but I don't know if I agreed with every single one of the trades that they have. Personally, when I think about the teams looking to trade up, these are some of the teams that I think, really could trade with the Raiders. You have the Philadelphia Eagles at pick 21. Yes, a lot of their needs are very similar as ours, but if you really want to jump us, and if maybe we already have a certain need filled, you could see the Eagles move up with us. The Baltimore Ravens, they got pick 28 and 2 second-round picks. The Green Bay Packers are an interesting team there at pick 30. The Indianapolis Colts at 34 and 44. And then the Rams. This is an idea that I threw out last week where we could get 2 second-round picks and an early third-round pick for pick 19. All those trades, if you want to see a little bit more details on the trades, I've already made a video about some teams, about some trades that could go down. So go check it out. Please, please, please. This is what the thumbnail looks like. You can look up Raiders potential draft trades on YouTube. but it's just another reason to subscribe to the channel. We do live shows. We do daily videos. Y'all wanted the trade video, so I gave you one. But if you want to see 8 potential trades, go check it out. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Raiders Report. All right, the last rumor on today's show, and this is a fun one, okay? So the Raiders interested in Christian Kirk. I'm going to give it 2 Chucky heads, and people are talking. And honestly, I'm just trying to speak this one into existence. That's just me being very, very transparent with you. So a few days ago, the Cardinals had a report that they are shopping wide receiver Christian Kirk. And honestly, I think he would be a great fit in our offense. And when I really think about, what he could bring, him entering year 3, which is kind of the year that receivers really take that next step, he was absolutely dominant at Texas A&M. And the fact that he's only 23 years old, I think that's a big thing there. Now, when I really look at Mike Mayock and his, progression through wide receivers, I think he was really like a player like Christian Kirk, who last season, had 68 catches, one away from a really nice season, 709 yards, 3 touchdowns. But his ability to get underneath is why I really like him. So if you guys want to see Mike Mayock's 2018 wide receiver rankings, they're coming up right now after this YouTube ad break. The reason why I do think that this one is 2 Chucky heads, and the reason why I do honestly believe that the Raiders would be interested, is because Mike Mayock had Christian Kirk as his 2nd highest rated wide receiver back in 2018. And I don't really think a lot has changed. Calvin Ridley went to the Falcons. Kirk, though, he was drafted 47th overall in the 2nd round by the Arizona Cardinals. Honestly, I thought he fell down the board a little bit. Now, Courtland Sutton has been solid for the Broncos, had a great year this past year. James Washington has really never lived up to the hype, I personally think, in Pittsburgh. But if you go out and you make a trade, right, for Christian Kirk, the trade that I personally came up with is a little bit of I want you to think about it, okay? I know y'all love Gabe Jackson, but I want you to honestly think about this trade, okay? So the Raiders, they receive Christian Kirk. The Cardinals, they get Gabe Jackson and a 2024 round pick. So the way I look at it is if the Cardinals invested a 2nd round pick, I think they'd be more than happy to get a 4th round pick. And if we can get a wide receiver who we can put as a starter, I would really be into that. Plus, Arizona, they need offensive line help. We need wide receiver help. They have plenty of wide receivers, especially after going out and getting DeAndre Hopkins. So who wins this trade? I want you to type R for Raiders, or I want you to type C for Cardinals. And be honest, okay? Because honestly, I think it's R for Raiders, and I would absolutely love to go out and make this trade because I still think that we're going to move on from a player like Gabe Jackson. So let's flirt with this idea. Let's say every rumor that I talked about on today's show happens. We go out, we get CeeDee Lamb at pick 12 because Mayock loves him, and we make a trade for Christian Kirk. I love me some Hunter Renfrow, but I think these would be our top 3 receivers, and there would be absolutely no more excuses around Derek Carr. No more excuses around any quarterback that comes in. Because if you can't compete with CeeDee Lamb, Tyrell Williams, Christian Kirk, Darren Waller, Foster Moreau, Josh Jacobs, and our offensive line, I'm sorry, you're not the answer. So I appreciate y'all weighing in. Let me know what you think of that depth chart. Personally, I think it'd be pretty fun. So if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate y'all very much. And I always say the show is not about me. It is about y'all. So if you have a fun show idea, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to Instagram. I want you to give me a follow, and I want you to DM me your best show idea, okay? Best show idea. You want it to be around draft topics, trades, crazy ideas, go for it. Hit me up on Instagram. That's at Mitchell Renz 365. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this. I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.